Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm here for what more than likely is going to be the last time of me saying this phrase on the channel. Welcome back to another Teasing Master Takagi-san review for you guys, and this is the Teasing Master Takagi-san movie review. Um, for you guys. And if you didn't know, yes, there is a Teasing Master Takagi-san movie added to the series. It fits in with the main timeline and it pretty much ends off the storyline of our boy Nishikada and our girl Takagi, and pretty much, discuss their final, little venture of their junior high, going into their summer vacation before they end up going into high school. Um, and it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed this. I really liked it. If you've watched this series, it's just brings back everything that the first three seasons did, and they just put it all together in this movie. Which obviously, the climax is obviously will they, won't they finally get together, and you see that take place in the movie. So yes, yeah, this movie is only coming out for 2 days, which comes out today and it also comes out tomorrow. Now, if you want to go see this movie, you can. If there isn't any showtimes for today, there should be showtimes for tomorrow. So get your tickets. And hopefully your theater is not sold out, to where you won't be able to see this movie, because I would envision this movie is going to be maybe on the streaming service, which is HI Dive more than likely, and it could take a while till it gets there. Don't know when the movie is going to come out to streaming services or when it's going to come out on DVD. So please don't ask me that in the comment section. But you know, I thought it was cool that Sentai gave us this movie. I'm still waiting for the quintessential quintuplets movie that ends off that series too. Like, come on, I need to see that. But Teasing Master Takagi-san, we surprisingly got it. Now, the only thing I don't like is one, I hate how it's only 2 days. I wish this movie came out for just at least a week. I think that gives a lot of people enough time to be able to check this movie out, see this movie if they're fans of the show. Um, and it gives them enough time to see it instead of relegating it to only 2 days, like anime movies used to be back in the past a while, where it only be like 2 3 days and then we're done. No more anime movie in theaters. And then another thing is it's only in select theaters. Like when I went on my Fandango app to find this movie, I had to go to the city. Now I live in California, and I had to go all the way to Riverside, California, to freaking see this movie, to a theater I'd never been to before. The theater was it was a nice experience. I enjoyed it, but I kind of wish it was a theater closer to me. That was the like closest theater. And if there was any other theater, it would be all the way near Anaheim, and I wasn't willing to make the drive. But since it was Riverside, I went to go make the drive. It was fine. It was simple and stuff like that, which is funny because the movie theater is right next to my little brother's college he attends and everything. But that was another thing that I didn't like. And there was another issue, and it wasn't even an issue before the movie came out, or yeah, movie came out here in the West, is that a lot of people are like, wait, why is there only like a small number of theaters? I wish this movie was more accessible to other theaters. Now, I understand the reasoning why. And I think also too, they chose a very bad time to put this movie out, because if you don't know, in anime news, Dragon Ball Superhero is actually coming out this week, August. Showtimes can start early, which are August 18th, like the night before, but it officially comes out Friday, August 19th. So it makes sense why some theaters probably couldn't let this movie in, because the theater showtimes are going to be packed with the newest anime film coming, and that's Dragon Ball Superhero, along with the other movies your regular scheduled movies that people just go to see, especially like Bullet Train and stuff like that. That I am interested in seeing. I heard good things. I might see it. I might check it out. I'll have to see. I'll have to see if I want to see it. Again, money has to play right in the cards for me. If I want to see that movie. But I kind of do wish this movie was accessible to other theaters, even if it was only a 2 day thing. They really should have opened this movie up to more accessible theaters that could be beneficial to people, so that maybe they don't have to maybe make a longer drive than they thought they would have to do to just see pretty much a movie that's only 1 hour and 13 minutes. Like if it was like a freaking Dragon Ball or One Piece movie and they had this whole thing, yes, I'm gonna make the drive out to whatever city because I need to see that. It's one of my favorite properties. But to some people, Teasing Master Takagi-san is an urgent need. But people who are dedicated and who love the series, they might have an issue with it. And that's one of my things. I wish it was handled better in terms of the way release. If anything, I wish there was longer days and stuff like that. But in my theater, I had a very good experience. There was a lot of people. My theater was actually fairly packed. It was actually really packed. It was like I think not fully packed, but the good seats were pretty much taken. So it goes to show me that there were people that were actively looking forward to seeing this movie. So yeah, but those are my things of the film that are just the background of the films that was kind of just it was kind of which is only the really negative thing I have to say. But other than that, I enjoyed this movie 100%. And if you haven't seen this movie, hopefully you can grab a showtime for tomorrow. If they have a late night showtime tonight, go check your freaking whatever movie or whatever, place they're, having the movie come out in, and you go watch the movie. I think you'll really like it. It takes a lot of elements of the show and puts them in this movie into a combined effort. But that's kind of it non-spoiler wise. Nothing else to talk about. The characters act like the same old characters they've acted like in the series, and you get some very emotional moments. Especially one emotional moment, which actually will hit you and stuff like that. So yes, but spoiler territory, spoiler territory. And also, too, if you're wondering, this movie's already been out in Japan like a few months ago, and it actually did really good out in Japan. So hopefully it does good in here. Maybe if it does good, maybe there will be extra added showtimes. But to my knowledge, it will probably only be a select thing. Also, if you're wondering, for people, is this English dubbed? No, it is Japanese. It's English subbed. There is no dubbed movie. I wish there was a dubbed movie, but I understand it was kind of late notice. But then again, it was given enough time to where they could have got the rights. Sentai could have got the rights to the movie and had the character and had the English dub actors dub it. And maybe that would have had more show times. But I'm fine with it. I watched the subbed version of all of season 3, and I was fine with it. And more than likely, we'll probably get an English dub version, whether it's on DVD or it goes to a streaming service. But spoiler reasons. I just wanted to bring that up because I know there's some people that prefer dubs over subs. But if you're gonna see this movie, you'll within either tonight or the next day, tomorrow, which is the last day you can see it. You'll be watching it subbed, but it doesn't take away from the experience. Anyways, let's get into spoiler territory. Now, if you watch Teasing Master Takagi-san, you know the whole ending off with season 3. Which funny enough, when the dub was airing for the show a few weeks back, I was actually kind of in a way rewatching all the Teasing Master Takagi-san because the dub episodes were dropping on a weekly basis at the time a few weeks ago. If you remember, there was a whole thing about Nishikada wanting to make up and give our girl Takagi a white day present, and he literally freaking, good God, I don't know if I would have did that. Well, if you really love a girl, you'll probably do something as crazy as Nishikada did at the end of season 3. Pretty much, damn near go like miles just to see this girl you care about. So we start the movie off pretty much. They're just chilling in their classroom. Now they do make a reference to the White Day thing. We don't get any flashbacks or anything to that moment. which was an emotional moment. But we get a whole thing where it's raining. You know, it's the whole thing, your typical teasing thing. Nisha kind of misunderstands what Takage meant. She teases him. He thinks like, oh, now he doesn't have his umbrella because it's raining, but Takage does, and he's thinking like she's probably gonna ask me to be under the umbrella, and he's getting all flustered and everything, and he's thinking some sort of love umbrella, which is again, it's another kind of callback to, I forgot what season it was in, but there was a season, one of the three seasons, where they walked together in the rain under the umbrella. I think it was season three actually. Um, Mind you, it's been a while since I've seen these seasons in a while. But it was kind of a callback to that. But it was a whole thing of, no, she was just drawing a fish bone, pretty much a fish that's only left in bones. But we find out that, you know, they only have a few more days left of junior high before summer vacation, then they move on to high school. Now, there is some side plots. There are some side plots in this movie. One of the side plots involves one of Nishikada's friends, or actually Nishikada's friends, his two friends. They're like, I guess, taking pictures, and they're being photographer people. So I'm guessing when they get to high school, they end up being like some sort of photography club. And we see at the end of the movie that they actually like it. So maybe that's what they did. Nishikada's other friend, who I think they're actually doing, I think they're doing some sort of spin-off series with this guy. It's about his relationship with Hojo. The whole thing is Hojo's going to he wants to spend the summer vacation with Hojo. Because if you remember from season 3, he didn't muster up the courage to pretty much ask her out and ask her to be his girlfriend. But she's going to Canada for summer school. Don't know why she's going to Canada for summer school, but okay, you could just have summer here. And kind of the premise of this film too, and it's kind of the whole thing of a premise. And it's kind of a, I guess you can say kind of a real life situation type of thing, because we see in this whole discussion, freaking, our dude has a chance to hang out with Hojo, but he has this thing. Nishikata ends up feeling in for him. And he pretty much says you need to spend it with Takage. And this whole there's like this whole story element. And that's mostly in the Yukari Sanae storyline. The three girls we've been following along in the side story that they've been going on. Of the whole thing of this aspect of, oh, since you're going to high school, things might not be the same like they once were in junior high. Because you know, times will change, we'll grow older, and things will happen, which it's a very interesting story point they made. And it's something, you know, a lot of people can relate to, because they went through junior high, and then guess what, they get to high school, it's a whole new ball game. Sometimes maybe you're not as close as with friends, you know, in high school you were in junior high. Another element, like I said, the three girls, they had an element, I believe, of Sanae. She is a pretty much person that does track. And we see in this movie that they all promise they want to stay together and be together and everything. I'm gonna be best of friends, but you know, we see to where the one girl, she's very emotional, because we find out that Sanae might end up going to a new school, or she is going to go to a new school to further her track career, pretty much. And it's a really good school for a really good track team. Now, mind you, I'm watching, now this might be a little nitpick, but I'm just watching the film. I'm like, why not she just go to whatever high school they going to? They might have a track team. I understand. Maybe you want to be on this good track team, go to this good school with a good track team, because maybe, especially in terms of recruiting and stuff like that, big recruiters will probably want to say like, oh, that girl's pretty good. And that was the kind of the whole thing in this movie with this trio, of spending all this time together during their summer vacation doing these tasks, and everything, and spending every last day of summer together before eventually Sanae has to leave to go to school, excuse me, to a different high school. And that actually can happen in real life. Sometimes you have friends in junior high that, guess what, they're not going to go to the same high school you go to. They're going to go to maybe a different high school that maybe, I don't know, maybe their living arrangements, it's closer for them, or it's a certain type of sport type of thing going on. You know, maybe for them, they want to actually get good legit offers from colleges and get a scholarship. They might have to go to a really good high school or really good athletics. team right then and there. And I was like, I can definitely relate to that. I had friends that went somewhere because they had to go to a different high school. I know that, and that's some real shit, and that's some really tough stuff. And it was really emotional to see, them get very emotional. And that last scene at the end of the film, when they're pretty much waving goodbye to the people, on they're waving goodbye to the people on the ferry. They're kind of all holding hands because they know this is ultimately the last time we'll probably be spending a summer all the three of us together. But at the end of the film, we real Sane pretty much says like she's gonna stay with them and she's gonna go to the same high school with them, and they're gonna all pretty much stay together. Which I thought was a nice little bow tie wrapped on that storyline. Those trio of girls, they've always had these funny, cute, adorable moments that always get a laugh out of me. I never found them annoying. I actually did care about their storyline with where they were going. I thought like it was believable that they were all friends and they just wanted to hang out. And I really did like this emotional moment, this emotional storyline going on where, they're very sad that one of their friends might end up leaving them and going to a different school, and stuff like that. Now, the main storyline is obviously focused around our boy Nishikada and our girl Takage. Again, you get some elements of the first start of the film, when the film like first starts off. Your typical stuff you've seen in the first three seasons. They do a competition, a whole game, but at the same time, they add these romance moments, like we see at the, in the intro to the film behind this musical playground, or this music song playing in the background. They're playing like this rock paper scissors, and whoever wins moves this amount of spaces, and we have it to where it's the final area where they have to reach to the goal. And it's again, Takagi teases our boy Nishikata is like, well, if you draw down on scissors and you lose, well then the loser has to be kissed or has to kiss somebody. And obviously our boy Nishikata, he gets flustered and he ends up losing, and he has to end up buying Takage soda because he didn't throw down scissors. And it's kind of the whole thing of this, romantic tension of this whole will they, won't they, or no, are they gonna finally confess? And we see, Nishikata, he, in a way you can say he's very much, well, we already knew he's attracted to Takagi and he likes her, but he gets very flustered and everything. Now Takage's whole thing of, this whole storyline, because we know she likes him, she talks to one of her friends, who says, oh yeah, it's the one girl with the guy who are dating. I forgot their names. But she pretty much tells Takagi, like, listen, we went out and we saw these fireflies, and there's this legend, this rumor behind the fireflies, where if you see the fireflies with somebody you're in love with, well, then you're always going to be together no matter what. You always, stay together. You'll pretty much fall in love and, happily ever after. And Takagi sees that, and they're walking home from school. She asks Nishikata like, "Hey, you want to see the fireflies with me?" And at the same time, Nishikata, he was also told by his friend like he needs to fill in for him so he can go spend some time out with Hojo. So he musters up the courage that night, and he pretty much texts Takagi, and says like, "Hey, do you want to go to this thing with me? At the same time, can we also see these fireflies?" And she quickly calls and says, "Yes, I will go with you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, there we go." And they, it's again another thing where they spend some time together alone. You have this moment with Nishikata talking about, I think, this like spirit-like creature that scared this one girl. It would start with a K, it was a Kashiwayo or something like that. And he cheers this girl up, and makes her happy, and everything. And you have Takagi putting a little freaking tease, saying like, "Oh, I never expected you. You're actually really good with kids, pretty much. Like, you honestly look like you were a dad." And I'm like, are they hinting at are they hinting at their eventual fact that they end up having a kid in Chi, which I'll talk about that at the end of the film. But if you watch season 3, there was a little bit of a introduction to one of the Teasing Master Takagi-san episodes, and we see their daughter Chi um, there. So yes, and that's the whole thing. Now, he gets off his shift and he's tell to the guy like, "Yeah, we just came out here to thing, and I'm taking her to go see the fireflies." And the guy ends up saying like, "Oh." We later find out because Nishikada tells her, Takagi, like, yeah, he said at this time of the year, the fireflies typically die out. And pretty much, you know, she's a little disappointed, but she already kind of knew that. And they kind of make a vow to say, like, one day we'll come back and, we'll find the fireflies together. We can find the fireflies next year. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go. Now, the main point of this story is across one of their little teasing things or little games or competitions they have, they come across a cat, who they call Flower or Hana. And this cat's pretty much a stray cat. It's on its own. They try to look for its mom, but its mom's nowhere to be seen. Um, and they pretty much we get a montage of them taking care of this cat, and they enjoy taking this cat or taking care of this cat like as if it was their own child. And we see how they do it. They go over to like this pet store, everything, where you have this one girl just say like, oh, gives him some tips to take care of the cat and everything. You have this the girl, the pet store's parrot was absolutely funny, absolutely funny. It did get a lot of giggles in the movie theater. It was absolutely hilarious. I loved when that parrot showed up. So yeah, and the thing is, they put up missing posters like, hey, we have this missing cat. If you want to adopt this cat or take it in, if this is your cat, you can. And we see, as time progresses, Tagage. Now we find out that they can't take the cat in themselves. It's because Nishikada, his parents, I think he said his mom, or yeah, I think he said his mom has like a cat allergy. And Takage, well, her dad had a bad experience with a cat where it cut him, and he's not really open up to cats. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want no damn cat in my household either. I don't care if it's a kitten. I don't want any cats. I'm not a cat person. I'm more of a dog guy. But if I saw a cute cat, I would play with it for a bit, but then I'd be like, okay, it needs to go away. So we see as the movie, as time progresses, eventually we find, they even take, care of it and everything. Like they take care of it so much where it's like it's rainy, freaking stormy weather. They both go out there to make sure the cat's okay. And they even they slept through the rainstorm. And I think, as they're sleeping, I think they're both holding hands right then and there. I'm like, oh wow. Oh wow. They really are and they really do like each other. And this is obviously the bond, because the whole thing for them is really, and Takage, before they even met Hana, um the cat they pretty much watched over, they were wondering like, well, Takage threw out the thing to Nishikari. She's like, well, we got to come up with something. Like, well, what's a good excuse to hang out with each other during the summer? I'm like, why not just say you guys just want to hang out with each other during the summer? I don't know why you're making it such a big deal that you guys can't see each other during summer break. And I'm like, wait, wasn't there a season where it was summer break for a while and they ended up hanging out with each other every single day, which they actually do make a reference to those times, like they're riding the bikes, and stuff like that that they did in the summer the previous year. And I'm like, okay, cool, cool, cool. Why can't you just freaking just hang out? And it was this whole thing of, you know, and Nishikata's like, wait, she wants to hang out with me with no excuses. That's almost like as if we're dating. I'm like, yes, yes. She wants to go out with you because she likes you, my guy. Um, so that yeah. But things happen to where Takagi ends up telling Nishikata, like, hey, my dad actually opened up and we can take Hana in, and I can take care of her. And Nishikata's like, oh, I'm so happy, I can't wait to see, come over and see, can like, and she's like, and or Nishikata's like, can I come and see the cat? And she's like, oh, so you want to see me? And I'm like, oh yes, please, you want to see her, say you want to see her. And Nishikata's like, no, I don't want to see you, I just want to see the cat, man. Which is absolutely funny. So they end up telling the store owner, the good news, they're given they're given, I guess, free of charge. They're given this collar for Hana, their cat, that pretty much Takage is going to adopt. But as they get back, they're trying to look for Hana. Now, they made occasional references of the fact that they want to make sure the cat is in the same location they're in near the shrine area, and hopefully it doesn't jump out into the streets and everything. And I'm like, now they made that first reference right there because eventually the cat, at like the middle part of the film, the cat jumped out and went to these flowers, and they made that reference. I'm like, don't tell me they're going to kill this cat because it got hit by a car. And mind you, so they start looking for the cat because the cat's gone. Hana's gone, and they're looking for the cat. Next thing you know, they meet up. They're like, we can't find the cat. All you hear is like, first thing you hear, you hear it, and I'm like, no, they did not freaking hit the cat, bro. And they turn around, it's just a bike, and I'm like, oh, you got me there. You got me there, Toho, because Toho did this film. They pretty much did the animation for this film, and I'm like, oh, you got me there. I legitimately thought that the cat got hit, and I was about to say, I'm like, this got dark for no apparent reason. My God, it's got really dark. I really thought the cat got hit, and then all of a sudden they cut to the bike, and the bike, it's like it's nothing there. It's just a kid on his bike stop, and I'm like, oh man, this movie would have went from 0 to 100 real quick if the cat died. And I'm like, oh, good God. I'm like, I don't know if that's just some sort of foreshadowing. But I was like, don't tell me this cat's gonna die. But no, they end up running into this mom and her two kids, and they're holding the cat. They're holding the cat, and pretty much the kids make the mention of like, oh, this cat looks like, this little guy looks like, the cat, I guess the cat they had, which it's pretty much implied that Hana is was the kitten that the owners originally had. They had the like mother cat, um and I'm guessing the kitten must have ran away. And we find out that the mother cat pretty much passed away. And they're like, oh, we found the cat, and they're saying like, can we take it in because it looks just like our old cat and everything. And obviously the mom's like, yes, that's the thing. Now Takage and Nishikada are watching this. Now they look like they're about to go up there and say like, hey, that's actually our cat. We found this cat chilling and everything, but it looked like Nishikada was going to go and tell him like, hey, no, that's our cat. We actually been taking care of it. Do you think we could have it back? But Takage stops and grabs his arm, and although she doesn't like what she's seen, she holds him back and pretty much saying like, no, it's okay, it's their cat, it's fine, because she understood the thing. And they're walking after this incident, and you get a very emotional scene. That scene was very emotional, but you get a very emotional scene with Takage where she actually, in a way, she kind of breaks character. Like, we have not seen Takage like legitimately like get very emotional in the series. Like, we've seen her get shocked and we've seen her get flustered at points in this series, but this is like legitimately the first time we've seen her break out into tears. We've seen her had a different character, and I actually did like it because it goes to show you that no, Takage is human. At the end of the day, she does feel different types of emotions, even though she has fun teasing our boy Nishikada. And there's this whole thing of, she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's very emotional about, Hana leaving and going with somebody else. And Nishikada, it looks like he's gonna cry, but he pretty much stops his tears, and he knows like, I gotta be here for her. I gotta be here for Takage. And he grabs her hands. He's like, listen, I'm gonna be here with you. Listen, I'm gonna make you happy. I'm going to continue to make you happy every single day, and I'll make you happy for the rest of your life, forever, pretty much. And I'm like, oh, whoa. No, it's funny because in the crowd, in the theater, there was this guy who was like into this movie. He was like, oh, which pretty much the way Nishikada was talking. It's like an indirect, it was an indirect confession of him saying, like, no, I'm gonna stay with you forever. I'm not gonna leave your side. Pretty much saying, like, I like you. So we have some time pass. We have some time pass. And it's the festival. They're going back to the festival like we saw at the end of season two. It's funny, you get references, you get the one stand guys like, oh, I remember you two, you're a couple, which funny enough, the one the pet owner called them boyfriend girlfriend, which they did make references to the fact that they were dating and stuff like that. Or it was no, it was the parrot. It was the parrot that said that. Um and so we meet up again, the same, booth guys like, oh, that's a couple we haven't seen in quite a while. It's great to see you guys again. Hopefully you guys don't get lost from each other. It's like, yeah, please, whatever. We also see the shop owner. The shop owner's there, and she apparently, I guess, was informed by them of what actually happened. And she's happy to see that they're actually doing better and they're actually happy. They're walking up, eating these candy apples. They're getting taking pictures of Nishikada's friends. Nishikada's friends actually show them this secret place to get a better view of the fireworks. It looks like they're going to follow them, but they understood the assignment, and the dude's like, no, let's get out of here, because they understood, like, oh no, these two are just hanging out with each other, be together, let's give them some space, let's give them some alone time. So they go that route, and they pretty much watch the fireworks from that angle. Good visually animated scene. And that's when Takagi is like, yeah, they were right, this was a good place to see the fireworks. And that's when she pretty much says the same thing that Nishikada told her. And she says, as her way of saying pretty much, I like you and I want to be with you. She pretty much says the same thing Nishikada told her, saying, like, I want to make you happy every day. And I want to make you happy forever. And credits roll. Now, I was like, don't tell me that's the it. Don't tell me that's where we're going to be left off. We're not going to get no confession, even though it was kind of the ways they were saying was a way of confession. We're not going to get anything else to show that, okay, these guys are together, and they are a couple. And you have to get past these two post credit. You have to get past these two credit scenes. Just a song playing in the background, a short little credits, and we cut to several years in the future, and we see this little girl talking, and it's Chi, a young Chi. Like I said, if you watch season 3, you know who this is. Now, Chi is the daughter of Nishikada and Takagi, and we see that they went to the same place that Nishikada and Takagi went to at the start of the movie. The one thing with the little fire festival they went to, holding the fire, where they were looking to find the fireflies. Now she walks up. Now the thing is, we see the older Nishikada and the older Takagi, but the thing is, they're still hiding their faces out. Which in season 3 they hid out. They purposely kept Nishikada hidden, and they didn't show Takagi's face. She runs off, and she's like, "I saw something." They follow her, and they go to this little pond area where the fireflies are there. And I'm just like, they paid it off. I knew they would pay it off, like something like that. And that's when we get the face reveals of adult Nishikada and adult Takagi. They're older. They pretty much look identical, the same. They look great. It's funny. There's the same guy that was like, oh, he was like, I bet you're all down bad, aren't you? Because Takagi looks like a whole snack. I'm gonna keep it PG, but she did look good. She did look good. I really liked her adult design. She is really cute. Now I can see him like, Nishikada, you chose the right girl. And it's this whole thing of them just looking at it, and they're very happy. They gave a look at each other like, we finally did it after all these years. We found the fireflies. So I'm guessing they must have went to this event like for years, but they just couldn't find the fireflies. Now with their daughter, they found the fireflies. And we find out that not only Takagi still teases him from time to time, she also teases him too, and he's like, "Why are you guys teasing me?" and stuff like that. You guys always do that. And you get a pretty much very nice, sweet ending to the film, a nice conclusion to where now you get it to where you see that in the future they end up getting married, they end up having a kid. Um, and they're a couple, and that's it of Teasing Master Takage-san. Um, and yeah, unless they want to do, I guess, a spin-off series that focuses around their daughter Chi, which I think there is a manga that focuses on their daughter Chi as the main character, with Takage and Nishikada making a few appearances. Um, that's it. I don't think, honestly, I think this was a really good movie, a really good conclusion to the Teasing Master Takage-san anime. And I really do love this series. These characters were so good. Each and every character in this show was absolutely phenomenal. The two main characters, Takage and Nishikada, they were great. This is another show where you can pretty much, or this is a series where you can pretty much tell a romantic story in a way without the main characters pretty much saying "I love you" to each other. And just like I said, the confessions of each other wanting to make each other happy was good. Another cool thing was the fact is they make a reference. They at the end of they get home and we see they have a cat. It's a different name. I think the cat's name is Flora, and the cat is wearing the collar that was going to be with Nishikada and Takage's first cat they tried to take in, Hana, which it was emotional. I didn't cry, but it's something that can make you shed a tear down your eye. It was a great movie, a great experience. If you have not seen this movie and you're a fan of the series, please go see this movie. Like I said, if there's a showtime, you can check real quick tonight, or get a showtime tomorrow if your theater's not, if that select theater is not packed. Go see it if you're a fan of the show. Um, you should really see it. You'll like it. It's a very emotional movie, um, and very heartwarming, very romantic, very cute movie. And just seeing that post credit scene makes the movie a lot 10 times better, and it seals a nice bow on this series. Teasing Master Takage-san. I first watched it, and I'm like, I'm really liking this, and I just fell in love with the show. This was a great show, and I really am going to miss it if this is it of this series. Like I said, I think there's a spinoff revolving around Hojo and the guy that likes Hojo. And like I said, if they want to do a spinoff of Chi and her little stories, they can do that. Like I said, I think there is a spinoff manga of that. And like I said, in season 3, we did get a little bit of an episode where it focuses on Chi and this guy that apparently likes her. And it's kind of the reverse thing there, where this dude teases Chi, in kind of a chill type of way. So I'm definitely down for that. I'm definitely down for that. But it was great to see this movie. Definitely a good experience. I'm gonna miss TC Master Takage-san, but if that's it for it, I'm glad. I don't think they need to tell anything else. It's a whole story that was wrapped up with only 3 seasons and then a movie to climax the story. And I'm really gonna miss these characters. I really am. I'm just getting new episodes of these characters again, just teasing each other and Takage teasing them. Really good. But other than that, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the Teasing Master Takage-san movie. If you've seen it, if you haven't, and you just didn't really care, well, there you go. Then hit that subscribe button. You want to get more anime content, as well as any other things I upload to the channel. And when you do that subscribe button, make sure the notification bell icons, you're up to date with whatever I upload to the channel. And yeah, but other than that, in terms of the next big anime thing I'm talking about, other than my typical anime episode reviews, I am going to be reviewing the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie review. I might review with my co-host, the Red Wolf. If you go on to my other videos and you chat and you see him, we might do a movie review of that. I don't know if we're going to be doing it because we're seeing it the night before it comes out. We'll more than likely, if we're reviewing it together, we'll do it on, it's going to come out on Friday. That video is going to come out on Friday. You'll get our thoughts on the film. Can't wait to talk about it and stuff like that. But we're going to see that movie on Thursday. Definitely looking forward to that. But till then, guys, catch you guys later. So you want to get my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super Superhero? We'll hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell icon, and hey, get our thoughts for that. But when the time comes, that will come sometime this week. Anyways, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Peace.